It's time to babble the fuck on. Live from the John Lovitz Podcast Theater, it's Hollywood Babble-On. With your hosts, Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
It is Saturday night and Friday night in Hollywood.
Glad you caught yourself.
I know. Woo. So let's babble the fuck on. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Hello.
Oh, God bless you.
I've been looking forward to this for a while, man. I missed the last, 3 weeks or
Yes,
something?
my special guest host this week will be Kevin Smith, which is a rarity. Nice to have you back, sir.
This is, I tried not to do other podcasts, like the way your wife goes out of town sometimes. You're like, I'm not going to jerk off until she comes home.
Right.
Then I'll jerk off. You know. The same thing here. I tried not to do other Hollywood comedy until I came back here.
I appreciate
Now I'm
that.
ready to make fun of our betters.
All right, let's do that. Before we get to the show, I say that term loosely. A little business to take care of. I want to give people who are listening a heads up that we're going to be on the East Coast in a couple weeks. We're going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How dare you boo Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? Get the fuck out.
Apparently there's still that East Coast, West Coast rap thing
Guess
going
so.
on.
Tupac's crowd in the house. We're going to be in Philly on the 17th of October. That's a Monday night, so come on out and see us at the World Cafe Live.
Yeah, that's huge for us. That's your backyard, right?
That's my hometown. Yeah, I'm in Jersey, of course. Your home, right around the right across the river.
It's gonna be all fucking cheesesteaks and pretzels for us, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna gain 40 pounds that weekend.
I'm gonna gain 40 pounds tonight. Thinking about that weekend.
And then we're in Vegas in November too.
That's right. We're on the road. Babble-On, we're moving on up.
We're not the Jeffersons.
Well, not yet, but we will be, Wheezy.
Let's get right to it with the shout-outs. We like to, on occasion, say a special word of thanks to folks who've come particularly long distances or are celebrating special occasions. I'll give you a heads up right now. There's like a shitload of shout-outs tonight that we couldn't get to them all, so I apologize in advance if we don't get to yours, but just fuck you. I just can't.
But if we
too
don't
much
get
show.
to you,
Just
there's
too
a
much
small
show.
consolation, a wonderful theme song.
That's right. James?
It's a shout out, Kevin and Ralph, so get your cock out. Yeah. Get your cock out.
People are cheering, getting your cock out. That's
Get
what we've
your
been
cock
reduced
out.
to. Quick one, real quick, is Santiago in the crowd. Is Santiago, where are you? Hello, sir. Happy birthday, right? You're celebrating your birthday with your friends.
Is your name really Santiago? You gotta avenge your father's death or
No,
something.
that's Inigo Montoya. It's a different
But
name.
with a name like that, it's so fucking it's a powerful name, an epic name. You can't be sitting watching Babble-On with a name like Santiago. Bills, Jims, Johns, they watch Babble-On. Santiago, he's doing his own podcast about how he's avenging his father's death.
Or at least cliff diving in Acapulco.
Yeah. That too.
This comes from Bart, Justice, and Mario. Those are his friends. Bart, Justice, and Mario. We are the Three Crusaders.
It does sound a little Saturday morning. Do you just hang out with people with better names than most? You're like, look, when you rock Santiago, you can't hang out with Ralph or Kevin. You gotta hang out with what are their names?
Bart, Justice, and Mario.
How'd Bart get in?
I don't know. They write that Santiago is celebrating his birthday tonight. What better way than with booze, balloon knots, geek news, and Liam Neeson's cock? And I couldn't agree more. By the way, Santiago's single, ladies, it says in this email. So big bucket of win, and we can find him a nice and liquored up girl that has no qualms about giving up the brown-eyed cyclops.
I get a few more of these in me, Santiago. I'm just saying, it's Friday night in Hollywood.
I've
so
never
it's
seen
not
you drink
gay.
alcohol before, so I don't know what's going to happen
I
tonight.
did, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. Tonight I did 2 shows back to back. I did Jay and Bob Get Old before this, and then this one. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go home or smoke up. So I'm doing completely fucking straight. This never happens. I'm like, 20 minutes into the show, I'm going to be like, where am I? Once all the THC's gone. So in preparation for that, I have a beer. So
Good idea.
Yeah.
Also want to ask if Corey Smith is in the house. Corey? Wow. Corey, bring
Is
up.
that Corey, a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
Dude, all right.
Yeah.
Dude raised his hand. I was like, that doesn't answer my fucking question.
Coming to Hollywood Babble on this Friday for my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Corey. Congratulations. Excited to bring 11 other people to celebrate my birthday with me. Well, fucking A. You can come here anytime, Corey.
Yeah.
Keep bringing
Have
the
a
big
lot of
numbers.
birthdays.
Yeah.
Go like that's how we used to do it in my family when I was a kid. Every time we go to Denny's, we were like, "Oh, it's his birthday."
Because
And
you
we'd
get the
a
free
cake.
meal. Yeah.
And eventually they got wise to it. They're like, he can't have that many birthdays in 1 year, but he's starting to look like he has about a birthday a day.
Cake-wise.
Yeah.
Dave and Pat and Val, are you guys in the house? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right up front.
Back the fuck off. Just
Spitting
get a
distance,
booth.
Ralph.
Jesus. I'm here with my friend Pat and my sister Val. Dave writes, I'll be the fat drunk guy. Not drunk enough.
Hey, I'm gonna beat you there, buddy.
Flying to Los Angeles from Rochester just to see you guys live. Well, that's great.
Right on upstate New York, right? Right on.
Dave wrote, I hope to be there, but being a gentleman of generous girth, I worry about actually being allowed to fly. They let you on? Congratulations. Did you need the seatbelt extender or anything? You did, didn't you, Dave? Yeah.
They let you on the plane? They did. Lucky.
I guess we know what airline he wasn't flying.
Yeah, really.
My friend Pat is an excellent artist, writes Dave. What do you do, Dave? Do you got any talents? No. You just hang around talented people. That's what I do, and look where I am.
What happened to your plan?
I thought you might enjoy a piece of work he recently finished, a picture of Harley Quinn. I know you and I are both Harley Quinn fans. You named your
Huge.
daughter after Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
This is something that Pat did. It's a painting. It's pretty nice. Good work. Patrick-Webster.com is the site. You can buy his shit there.
It's one of those drawings you could jerk off to, Ralph.
You said it. Justin. Is Justin in the crowd tonight? Justin's right there. Hello, Justin.
He was his own applauder, man. God bless you. I'm with you, sir.
You're here with your brother Nick, though, right? Where's Nick?
Yeah, but Nick
Nick's
didn't get
the
his
quiet
back.
one.
Yeah, Nick was like, fucking don't clap.
Here from Dallas, Texas. I'm bringing my brother Nick with me to watch the show on Friday. It'll be his first HBO experience. That's why he's not clapping.
There you go. Yeah, really. He's just like, you brought me from Dallas for this?
When do they get funny? That's what Nick is asking.
Yeah.
I was hoping you could pop his HBO cherry in your Ed Wynn voice. Well, of course I can, don't you know? It's great to have you here, Nick. You're quiet, but we'll fix that. Because I'm going to stick my cock right in your ass. You'll go, oh my goodness, life is for the living. Thanks for coming out.
Wait, they're from Dallas?
They are from Dallas.
I might take a shot at you, too, from the grassy knoll.
Oh, Jesus. Too soon?
Yeah, I guess.
Too tsunami, indeed, yeah. John and Veronica. Veronica just waved.
She
That was so
waved.
cute.
He actually uttered something.
She's like, hi.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I are big fans. We'll be at the show to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, John writes. It's a dating anniversary. Stop clapping. It's meaningless.
No.
It's fucking meaningless.
No, it's tough to keep it together in a world like today.
Not when you're dating. It's easy when you're dating. Get fucking married, then we'll clap for you when you spend a year married. Every day, every morning, the same woman, every night. I'm sorry. Bad day.
Mr. Bitter aside, I support your 12-month versary.
John writes, I'd like to ask Kevin for a suggestion for something sexual we could do to celebrate the anniversary. And the fact that I just finished moving into her place. Before he answers, however, let me say that my girlfriend is really cool. And already, well, let's just say she's already down with the let's all go inside. So there's no need to talk her into that.
Right.
So we need something else for them to celebrate their anniversary with, something sexual, Kevin, for you to come up with since you are the man with the moves.
Okay. First, 20 minutes of all nipple work.
Oh, nipple work.
Then 35 minutes of all labia work. Then about 12 minutes of clit work. At that point, that's all you'll need. And then tell her, I don't need to come. This was all about you.
Oh. Wow.
Then when she falls asleep, jerk off to her ass.
Oh, come
That's how I won my wife.
Sounds like a workout video. All right, you put in 20 minutes of nipple work, then about 15 minutes of labia work. Are you with me, fellas?
Snap into a snapper.
Arnie and Liz, via, is it via or villa? Via, of course.
I like
Si
this
se
group.
puede. Arnie and Liz are here tonight celebrating their real anniversary because they're fucking married.
Right on, man.
Every day, that's right.
day.
Same goddamn face all fucking day in, day out. My husband and Arnie and I have been listening to the podcast since the beginning, and we love it, writes Liz. I am really looking forward to the show because we're celebrating my birthday and, most importantly, our anniversary. When Arnie and I first met, I had gone through cervical cancer treatment and was told my chances of having kids were slim to none. But Arnie married me anyway, and our life is amazing. And this is the first date we've had in a long time, and probably the last for a while, because we have a beautiful 11-month-old little girl at home.
Wow, man.
And I'm 5 months pregnant.
Oh my God. Arnie
Yeah.
won't leave the pussy alone.
No. I'll show those doctors wrong. Fuck them.
We're gonna beat the odds, and I'm gonna beat my dick.
Liz says, not only does this cock give me amazing orgasms, but beautiful babies.
I wish someone would say that about my fucking dick. Never.
Could you please tell him I adore him and wish us a happy anniversary in your David Bowie voice? Thanks for making me laugh at 1 a.m. while I'm up with a teething, fussy baby. Liz. P.S. I like Jersey Girl. No, you don't.
Yeah, she does.
No, you don't.
She does, you big jerk. Do the Bowie. I like that.
All right, James. Your sperm is really something. Your cum really gets the job done. Your jism beat the odds. You knocked her up with your load. All right, there we go. Congratulations. I'm just impressed by his sperm.
It was.
It's like got superhuman sperm.
Way to be fertile, man.
That's right. All right, we get emails from around the world, and from time to time we like to read them out. James?
Ain't no drag.
Garvin's got an email back.
Featuring Kevin's reactions.
There we go. What's up, guys? My name is Indy, and I've been a loyal listener since the beginning. I live in Madrid, Spain, and not a lot of people listen to HBO here, so I've decided to make a teaser trailer to a fake movie based on Ralph's impressions, just to help spread the word. It's a movie called The Garmy. Here's the teaser trailer. I hope you enjoy it and never stop babbling. And since I'm writing you, could I get a shout out for my girlfriend? You can surprise me with the voice, but I'll just give you 2 key words, Elise and ass. Thanks, Indy. Elise, your boyfriend's an ass. He left it up to me. That was a mistake.
That's true.
Here is, this is pretty amazing. A guy who lives in Madrid put together this teaser trailer for a movie that doesn't exist using pieces of audio from our show. I was very impressed. Here's a little teaser trailer for a movie he made up called The Garmy.
Oh, great whores in that town.
But the man kneels before God. I'm bleeding to death and he's not fucking kneeling.
Who's the loser there, huh?
I'm always really busy. I'm really very busy. I offer a silent apology to the victims I failed to protect.
I don't. I'm too worried about my cock.
How are you, please?
Simmer down. Ghost. Oh, pound of flesh. Ooh, You ain't training.
My son's a fucking idiot.
Come on now!
He included Mozzolo, babe. Wow.
Why are our listeners so much more talented than we are?
I know. It's a way better show they're making than we're doing.
God bless them. This email comes from Kimball in Colorado. The reason I'm writing is because I just watched Red State, which I enjoyed the fuck out of.
Right on.
For those of you who haven't seen Red State, by the way, you really owe it to yourself. I'm not just saying that. Great flick. Just got thinking about how much Ralph's character Caleb reminded me of classic mute serial killers like Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. This led me to think that a Red State sequel should be made, featuring Caleb returning from the grave as a zombie, a machete-wielding monster who haunts Cooper's Dell and kills teenagers who dare to come there and indulge in their naughty business. This, of course, would lead to an entire series of Red State movies, which would climax in the epic film Red State 666, Caleb versus Jay and Silent Bob. I've taken upon myself to make a poster for Red State 2. I hope you enjoy. This is from Kimball in Colorado. This is what the poster would look like for Red State 2. It's Caleb as a zombie holding a machete. And I'm glad Kimball cares about my movie career, because this one is retiring and has just ruined everything.
This dude was asking for a sequel to Red State when we were in production. He's like, what do you mean I get killed? Can't I come back? I'm like, no.
Come on. Can't God come down and raise me from the dead or something?
Actually, in that movie, it would have worked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
James Clark writes, longtime fan, big fan of Kevin's films, even cop out while sober, he writes. And that's impressive.
Thanks for the asterisks, dude.
My cousin Sean had been raving about the podcast forever, so I finally decided to check it out. Within a week, I've listened to all 52 podcasts and absolutely love it. That's pretty impressive. The one thing I don't like about the show, however, is how Ralph talks about Sarah Jessica Parker. James writes, to those who have criticized the looks of Sarah Jessica Parker, I say nay. It would behoove you to have some common courtesy and stop making such unbridled remarks. It's unfair to saddle her with this burden of ugliness. Someone needs to take the reins here and say, whoa, this is going too far. Why do we need to trot out these same cracks every time her name comes up? The next time she makes a movie, I'll definitely pony up the cash to see it. Babble-On, James Clark. Well, thank you, James. I appreciate that.
James.
And while we're talking about talented listeners, Dan Leatherdale writes from London, England. He has come up with an entire new concept and a new segment for the podcast that he has sent me in complete form. It's got an introduction, it's got a videotape, it's got everything.
So we got writers now.
We got writers, thank God. Thought of a new segment you guys could do for the HBO podcast. Have you ever seen an acting performance from an A-list actor that you thought was a little subpar compared to their better work? I think that you guys, with the help from the listenership, would share these performances to the world in a weekly segment called Exquisite Acting. I've attached an intro you could use and a clip of Pierce Brosnan getting quite angry from a film from 1988 called Taffin, Dan Leatherdale. So here is the intro for a new segment called Exquisite Acting.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
Welcome to the world of exquisite acting with Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith.
It's not bad. He's doing all the work for us.
I know.
Right
British accent sounds very cool.
It's pretty classy.
This is the video he sent in. This is Pierce Brosnan, of course, James Bond. He's had a big body of work. Maybe this is not his finest moment. This is just a quick scene from a movie he made in 1988 called Taffin, and he may have been a little over the top in this particular scene on this particular line.
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Wow! Where was the director? On a coffee break?
I don't know, but that director deserves a pat on the back, man. How do you get something that big out of somebody?
Maybe you shouldn't be living here.
Yeah, really.
Can we get that one more time, James? Can we watch that video one more time? I was very impressed by his performance in this.
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Fuck's sake. Pierce was hungover that day. This week, we've got another one of our Hollywood helpers, someone in show business who has stepped up and gotten outside of their own ego and done something for somebody else. Here's the only problem with this segment. Kevin Smith, you may know him, doesn't like the intro for this piece.
The theme song.
The theme song, yeah. Let's play the old Hollywood Helpers theme song, James.
Hollywood helpers, when you need a helping hand.
Thanks, mister.
Thanks, mister. I thought it was sweet, it was nice. You thought it wasn't hard enough, didn't have enough edge to it.
It needed edge.
And a couple episodes ago, Kevin fell in love with a musical segment someone sent in. It was Pacino asking for more margaritas. It was a little jingle. He said, that should be the Hollywood Helpers jingle. I said, what the fuck does Pacino ordering margaritas have to do with Hollywood Helpers? And then he dropped a little line. He said, well, maybe someone can edit this in. Well, you've got to be careful what you ask for.
They did it?
Because Harry Kunn, who did the original, remixed it, and here's our new Hollywood Helpers theme. James?
Ooh-ah, ooh-ah.
Hollywood Helper.
Ooh-ah, ooh-ah. More margaritas. Ooh-ah, ooh-ah.
Hollywood Helper.
Ooh-ah, ooh-ah. More margaritas.
Hollywood Helper.
Ooh-ah, ooh-ah.
Hollywood Helper.
Come on now.
Hollywood Helper.
There you go. Careful what
take
you
it.
wish for.
It's about 90 minutes long, but I'll take it.
This week's Hollywood Helper is Sean Penn, believe it or not. Sean Penn, it turns out, gets some credit for getting those 2 hikers freed from Iran.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he fucking knocked out a dude with a pot of coffee.
No. Josh Patel and Jane Bauer, those are the guys, the 2 hikers that were held by Iran for, 2 years they were in
Oh my
prison
God,
there.
yes.
Yeah. So Sean Penn stepped up and he called up his friend, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. You laugh, but they're actually pals. They hang out. I don't know why. And Hugo Chavez is pals with Mahmoud Ahmadinejad,
I don't know who
the Iranian president.
Oh.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Is he the dude that comes over here every once in a while? He's like, we don't have gay people.
Yes. No gays in Iran. No, everybody very straight. When we have gay butt sex, we look at pussy porn. So Sean's representative told the Hollywood Reporter, yes, it's true, he was involved.
Wait a second. Is there such a thing as pussy porn? Are there distinctions, classifications? Like, there's pussy porn, there's cock porn, there's ass porn, there's titty porn?
Yeah, sure.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Pussy
Straight porn is known as pussy porn.
Really?
Yeah.
To
Well,
who?
they're pussies.
Never heard that. So you're opening my eyes here.
Sean's representative says he was involved in working towards their release. However, he is not providing details or offering a statement. But Sean apparently was making phone calls on behalf of these 2 hikers and got him released. So
Well done.
that's pretty impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Totally awesome. Way to go, Hamilton.
I got them released on our time. Spicoli.
That sounded a little more Keanu.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
How about some shit that should not be?
For shit we should not see. Here's some shit that should not be.
You missed last week's, Kev. Last week's was great. Last week's was an episode of the Flintstones where Barney Rubble was making a joke about his own cock.
The cartoon or the movie?
No, the cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, wildly inappropriate joke that was written into the Flintstones. I guess they hoped no one would catch, but we caught it last night.
Very nicely done. Explain the segment for those who've never seen it or heard it.
Shit that should not be is where we take a look mostly at movies and we find glaring moments that have just gone horribly wrong in these movies. I mean, there's dozens, sometimes hundreds of people watch these films before they reach you in the theaters or on television. And you would think somebody would catch these glaring errors, and no one does. And these movies reach the screens or reach your television set, and it's just unbelievable the stuff that slips through the cracks. We've taken a look at a ton of stuff. My favorite is Wildcats, where there's a black running back. He gets handed the ball, he gets tackled. When he stands up, he's Woody Harrelson. It's that kind of shit I'm talking about. In Anaconda, the waterfall's going backwards. No one bothered to straighten that out. This week's movie is Bad Boys, not the one with Will Smith and...
the OG one with Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, right. Speaking of Sean Penn. He plays a kid in Chicago named Mick O'Brien. Jewish kid. Who's sent to reform school after killing Paco Moreno's kid brother. Unfortunately, he runs into Paco Moreno in the reform school where he is, into the prison. And that's played by Isai Morales. Sean Penn and Isai Morales in this scene are fighting, and everyone is cheering them on, and it's a brutal fight going on inside the reformatory. But there is something going on to the left. If you watch the left side of your screen, we'll show it a couple times so you'll catch it. It's unfucking believable that this movie got onto screens without someone saying, we got to take that out. Here is Bad Boys from 1983.
Left or right side?
This side. I got my razor pointer, so I'll show you when we get into it. Here's the fight. They're fighting Isai Morales and Sean Penn. Now look what's going on here. Oh, one more time, just so you see. Yeah. Who's in the reformatory? Oh, it's a fucking camera crew. There's a grip over here and a cameraman shooting the fight on the floor.
And that's in the movie.
It's in the fucking movie. Doesn't somebody say, hey, we got giant Panaflex fucking camera on the floor there shooting a 72 millimeter in IMAX. Can we cut that scene? No,
Like,
no one will notice.
They
no.
won't see that. There's too much going on.
No,
in the
there's
frame.
things. There's the guy's got a shiv. This other guy has like a food tray. Guy's got a movie camera. It happens all the time. It makes me angrier and angrier every time I do this segment. What do they take us for? Suckers?
So wait a second. That was 1983.
Yes.
It's 2011. That's almost 30 years ago?
Yeah.
You're still mad?
Yes. Still mad about it. All right, let's get right into the big stories of the week. When it comes to showbiz news, Ashton Kutcher. You're in trouble!
What happened?
Oh, you haven't heard?
No.
He,
That's what I love about Hollywood Babble-On. I catch up on all the news.
You're in the business, man. You should be plugged in.
I'm not in their business.
Ashton Kutcher, of course, looks like he's on top of the world. It's got a hot sitcom now, biggest ratings ever for the premiere episode of 2.5
Yes.
Men. Married to a beautiful older woman named Demi Moore.
Demigod, yes.
Yes, and you'd think he has the world by the ass. Well, that just goes to show you, success and money isn't everything, my friends. Because he's in big trouble at home. It turns out that he's been busted fucking somebody else.
He cheated on Demi Moore?
He did, and apparently this isn't the first time, and now word is that they're separated.
Ooh, so she's single. I'm just saying. You know.
You think she's going to go from Ashton Kutcher to you? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm married, not for me.
All right.
Unless she was into threesomes.
All right. Rumor has it that this has happened before, and this is the last straw. This is why.
Do you think she is into threesomes?
I'm guessing she is, yes.
Right?
I saw a
She seems kinda
striptease.
dirty.
Yeah, she seems dirty.
Yeah. Even going back, like she was in Blame It on Rio when she was younger.
Yeah.
And she was happy
She
to go.
was
like,
fucking
"Woo!"
Michael Caine then,
Yes,
wasn't she?
yeah. Well, she wasn't. The other one was. But still, she's always seemed kind of wild to me. Like when he got married to her, some people were like, she's older than him. But I'm like, you know the shit? She's forgotten more about how to make a dude come than he'll ever know.
Yeah. About making a dude come?
Yeah, she makes a dude come.
No, I'm talking about that Ashton?
Yeah.
Forgot about making another dude come?
Yeah, well, presumably he makes himself
Oh,
come.
okay, all right,
But
fair
she
enough.
knows more. Like, she's just wisdom. She's like the Yoda of fucking, I assume.
Yeah. They're separated not just because of their marital situation, but they're on opposite coasts because she's working on a movie and he's here in Los Angeles doing his
2.5
sitcom.
Men.
So they did not spend their anniversary together, their 6th anniversary. Apparently, the night of their anniversary, he was caught fucking a 23-year-old down in San Diego at the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego.
How'd he get caught?
There's someone applauding.
Dude clapping.
23! And here's my theory, and I've always said this. It doesn't work when an older woman marries a young dude. Women always say to me, oh, it's the same thing when an older man marries a young girl. No, it's not. Because guys are pigs. And if they get the chance to get some young pussy, they're going to take that chance.
Is that right?
Yeah. And apparently he did. Now, the girl, her name is Sarah Leal. He picked the wrong girl because she is willing to sell her story this week, she's announced, for $250,000 to any tabloid that'll pay her. In her defense, she said, if Ashton pays me $250,000, I won't tell anybody the story. She's a sweetheart.
Can that be counted as blackmail?
Not if you do it publicly, I
Extortion?
guess.
I guess not, right?
Yeah. Here's a photo of Sarah Leal. They just released today. Everyone was wondering what she looked like. This is her. This is the little blonde number he was with.
Nobody doesn't like Sarah Leal.
And this is the photo that apparently busted Ashton. This is them leaving the hotel, him driving, her in the back seat. This is the photo that got him into trouble. So apparently, Trouble in Paradise.
There's something
for
about
the,
that show, dude. You get that role on that show, and you just
Go
start
become a mess.
cratering your life, regardless. Or
I think John Cryer's just hanging his head saying, oh, fuck, not again.
I think right about now, John Cryer is fucking Chief Brody in Jaws 2. You know, he's just like, I've seen a shark, and you better do something about this one, because I ain't going through that hell again. That's right. They better shut down the beaches, Ralph.
A couple episodes ago, I showed you guys a photograph. I can't remember if you were here for this one or not. Do you remember the photograph of Nicolas Cage that was being sold on eBay?
No.
It was a photo that was presumably Nicolas Cage from 100 years ago. And the person who was selling it saying, this is proof that Nicolas Cage is a vampire. and has lived forever. And it was a typograph, a tin typograph of a guy who looked exactly like Nicolas Cage from the Civil War. And everyone was saying, it's uncanny. This is proof positive that he is otherworldly and he's been around for hundreds of years. Okay. And everyone had a big joke about it. It was a photo from 1870 from Tennessee, and it was a Civil War photo of a guy who looked exactly like Nicolas Cage. And we all laughed. Well, this week on eBay was posted a photo from 1860 of a young John Travolta. And the seller of this photo, who is asking, by the way, $250,000, that is the number of the day. Sarah Leal wants that, and this guy wants it for the photograph. This guy says, and I'm reading from the posting on eBay, this is a picture of John Travolta from 1860. It is clear as day, as the day was taken roughly 151 years ago. I know you're all saying John Travolta is alive today in 2011, and he doesn't look 151 years old. Well, for those of you who don't know, John Travolta is a Scientologist, and many Scientologists can time travel.
Now I want to join.
Yeah, see? It's worth whatever you pay over the long haul.
I do want to take an e-meter test now.
The belief is that time travel is possible among Scientologists, and many of them has happened before, and they've traveled into the past. So here's a photo of John Travolta when he was time traveling back to 1860. There is him. There's young Travolta to the left, and there's young Travolta from 1860.
That does look pretty close, man.
It does look. Yeah. So for $250,000, you can have proof that John Travolta is a time traveler.
We have proof right here for free.
That's true, we do. Another day, another actor, celebrity thrown off of an airline. This time it was the star of the L Word named Leisha Haley. She was thrown off an airline because she was making out with her lesbian girlfriend.
What airline would that be, Ralph? Who would be so intolerant as to throw off people who are just having a good time?
Southwest Airlines, it turns out, Kevin. Southwest Airlines.
I can't believe that, Ralph, at all.
Apparently, the reason they asked her to get off the flight was because Southwest is a family airline, Kevin.
Right.
And they don't cotton to that kind of behavior in their seats, two girls macking out.
Chicks kissing.
Why
is that bad? Why? Like, that's the one kind of kissing you do want to see on a plane.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like,
and this chick's pretty hot, too.
Totally. And you're just like, all of a sudden you look up and two chicks are making out. I'd be like, buy more tickets. Let's always fly this airline.
Leisha's now demanding a public apology from Southwest, calling for her fans and gay people everywhere to boycott Southwest Airlines for its homophobic policies. And she wrote and tweeted, "They don't like us." So, Kevin, you've got people in your corner.
They don't like gay people, fat people. They don't like dudes with their pants hanging down.
That's right. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day was booted off that flight as well.
This literally is the principle of airlines. You know, it's just like they're always going like, pull up your pants, stop kissing, lose weight. So fucking horrible.
They don't like anybody. There's a lot of hoops to jump through just to get on an airplane with these people.
And when you get on the plane, you'd imagine like, wow, once we get on, it's going to be paradise in the air. No, it's not. You know, they make you jump through hoops, and they're like, no, shit, just sit in your shitty little seat.
It's bad enough it's a bus. It's already an air bus, and now they make you jump through hoops.
Unfucking believable.
I don't know if anybody here watches Dancing with the Stars. I will ask the people applauding why. But just a real quick recap. Elizabeth Canales, ex-girlfriend of George Clooney, was booted off this week, which makes me angry. I don't watch, but I don't like when hot girls are sad. I know that much. And she must have been sad when she was booted off. But the real story of the week was that Nancy Grace, you know her from HLN, she's got the show. She was the big talk of the town when the Casey Anthony trial was going on.
She was so outraged.
She was furious when the verdict came back. She said the devil was dancing tonight when that verdict came back and Casey Anthony got off so lightly. She was dancing on Dancing with the Stars when her nipple popped out.
Really?
Yes.
That chick's nipple was out on TV?
Yeah. There's like 4 hot chicks on this show, and Nancy Grace's fucking nipple pops out. Just goes to show you God is not a fan of Dancing with the Stars. I brought in a photo in case... I'm sorry.
See it?
Have you eaten? Have you eaten here at the Lovitz? I'm sorry. In the name of journalism, I have to produce the evidence. Let me get my laser pointer again. I believe we've got the photo here. If you look right there... Yeah, right there.
That's more areola than nipple, isn't it?
That's areola borealis right there. That's what that is. She was talking to the judges with her tit hanging out, basically, is what happened. And they gave her high enough grades that she stuck around for another week, so I guess she knows what she's doing.
Because she got a fucking quado popping out of her tit.
All I know is the devil is dancing tonight when her tip came out. That's all I'm saying. More annoying TV personalities in the news. Andy Rooney of 60 Minutes fame will be doing his last broadcast this Sunday night on 60 Minutes, his last regular appearance. Rooney, who is 92, has been featured on 60 Minutes since 1978.
Holy shit.
He is retiring this weekend after his 1,097th appearance on 60 Minutes. The chairman of CBS News said he will always have an open door and have an ability to speak his mind on 60 Minutes whenever the urge hits him. That's a bad idea, Jeff Fager of CBS News. He's 92. Because the next thing you know, he's going to come in and say, "Why isn't my tapioca pudding warm?" He's going to have complaints that 92-year-olds have. We don't want to hear that.
Complaints like, one day I'm gonna die. Soon.
I can't see past my eyebrows any longer. Well, we'll see.
That makes me feel old, Ralph. I've been watching that dude. I mean, I watch 60 Minutes all the time, but he's been on 60 Minutes since I was a kid. 78, I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So to hear that dude's
basically
going,
your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that just means that, like, he's getting ready to wind up, which means in about a few years there won't be an Andy Rooney on 60 Minutes. So everyone should tune in and watch that last one. He is kind of a television institution at this point. Big bucket of win that guy's had as a career. I know he's not dead. He won't be.
We'll see him soon.
Because he's still alive.
We'll see him in Tinseltown's Tiff soon, I'm sure.
Don't say that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
We'll be talking about him
Andy
maybe next week.
He's gonna live forever. He's gonna learn.
I lost my reason to live when I left television. I'm just going to lay down and die now.
They're like, we can't air that one, Andy.
Most annoying celebrities. While we're talking about Andy Rooney, interesting poll this week from Parade Magazine listed the top 5 most annoying celebrities as polled by you, the American public.
This is one of those moments I thank God we're not celebrities.
Me too.
Because
we'd be on there. Number 5 on the most annoying celebrity list from Parade Magazine's poll, Donald Trump. He only got 5% of the vote. I thought it'd be bigger.
Are people really irritated by him, or are they just kind of indifferent?
I think they're irritated by him.
Really?
I mean, he's got a big show. That Celebrity Apprentice gets pretty good numbers, and people watch. I think they are cheesed off at him.
Okay.
Because he's so pompous, and everything he does is the greatest and the best. It's the biggest hotel ever in the history of New York City. In hotels that have ever had windows, we have the most. He's like, fuck you. So bombastic. Lindsay Lohan. 16% of the vote came in number 4. Snooki of the Jersey Shore got 21% of the vote. Charlie Sheen, 27% of the vote, came in at number 2. And the number 1 top vote getter for the most annoying celebrity in America. Anybody want to take a guess? The Chelsea Handler, I wish. I'd be vindicated. Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian came in at number 1. Yeah.
That's where we are in this country. That she counts as a celebrity.
I know. I'd still fuck her though. They didn't have that question on the poll.
Maybe that's what's annoying.
I wouldn't
about
fuck any of these other people, but
except for that one.
Yeah, that one. While we're talking about fuckable celebrities, Rihanna in the news this week.
I saw a picture of her with her top off.
Yes.
I saw her boobies. Boobies.
She was in Northern Ireland shooting a video on a farm that was owned by a Northern Ireland gentleman named... Northern Ireland gentleman? He's Irish, is basically what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Named Alan Graham. And he was watching them film the video, and he said he had no idea who Rihanna was. And she was filming the video. She started off with a flannel shirt, and then she stripped down to a Stars and Stripes bikini, and then a red bra, and then she went topless. And that is when he drew the line. He hopped off of his tractor and stopped the shoot.
Really?
Ran into the shoot and said, no.
Replace that.
No. That's what he said.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, get away from me, pot of gold. And to tell that black girl to put her bra back on. He said, not on my land. He stopped the whole shoot. Said, you no longer can shoot here because that Barbados chick is showing her boobs.
He's like, I'm seeing her pink stars, yellow moons, orange clovers.
Black areolas.
You got a pic?
Here's a shot of Rihanna running through the field with her boobies. going in the breeze.
That's more of her arms.
Yeah, that's more of her arms. We saw more of Nancy Grace than we did of Rihanna, unfortunately. But yeah, he said no, and it's the first time I've ever been ashamed to be Irish, quite frankly, because he should have said, "Let's go, let's do it on my tractor." Actor. Betty White, she should die soon, right?
Oh, no!
You with me? You had an ass full of Betty White? Yeah, you've had an ass full of her, right? Look, I get it. I know her career's had a resurgence and she's a national treasure, whatever, but fucking enough with the Betty White already.
Oh, no, she's awesome. I'd fuck Betty White if she'd let me.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, let me into that funny, man.
Oh, stop
She's
it.
been around. She's got a light history. You know the kind of shit she would know to bring to the table and whatnot? You dismiss her, but Betty White would fuck you out of this world, bitch. You and Betty White are crossing each other at tables like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she's Karen Allen as Marion Ravenwood, and you the big fucking Nepal guy that's like, ugh. Because Betty White's like, bitch, you know how much fucking I've done? Get over here. Give it again, Garmin. She's just holding your head like this. Watching reruns of the Golden Girls.
But what happens when I enter her and snap her pelvis? That's what I want to know. When osteoporosis rears its ugly head and her bones turn to dust with my powerful man thrust.
The only problem she's got to worry about is your low-hanging balls.
Exactly.
Slipping between her legs and crashing her in the back of the head. Concussing that poor woman.
I would break her in half. I would fuck her to dust, is what would happen.
You're like the fucking Lost Ark?
That's right. It'd be like, she'd be like a mummy. She would just, like, and then she would just, it'd be a Betty White-shaped cloud after I was inside of her.
Oh, it's like she ran in a cartoon.
That's right. She's fucking 90. Enough already with Betty White is
She's
what I'm
awesome.
saying.
She brings the funny, man. Funny will turn me on. Even for a woman of that age, it's just like, she's clever.
Well, you may change your mind this week because she's just released her first rap song. Yeah, see? Now you're on my side. She's got a new rap song that she did with a British singer-songwriter named Luciana. And apparently Luciana had a hit with a song called I'm Still Hot. And so she and Betty White have done a remix where it's a duet where Betty White talks about how she's still hot.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know if hot flashes count, but the lyrics go something like, I may be senior, but so what? I'm still hot. I left my Emmys in my beatbox. Is that what she calls her vag?
Is that where she puts her Emmys?
I'm thinking.
That trophy is awfully cruel looking.
I will get you sweaty because I'm Big Betty, she writes. I brought a little taste of the audio of Betty White singing her new rap song.
Okay.
And after you hear this, I'm sure, like you will be looking forward to next week's Tinseltown Stiffs in the hopes that Betty will be joining Andy Rooney in our big farewell segment. Here's a little piece of Betty White.
I'm still climbing a world. I'm still a golden girl. I may be a senior, oh what? I'm still hot. From London town to LA, I shake it all the way. But I rock the world with my cheesecake. I'm still hot.
No, you're not, Betty. Oh, I'm sorry. You get the booby prize,
She's
Betty.
not here to cause no trouble. She's just here to do the Super Bowl. That's what that reminds me of.
It is very much
Yeah, it's a little
the
novelty
most
hit.
simplistic rap you could give a 90-year-old woman.
Totally.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm white, and that is right, and I'm doing rap, and it ain't crap. You know, pretty damn simple.
They wrote it phonetically for her, I think, to get through it.
Good for her, though. She deserves it, man.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in the news. Our former governor here in California has commissioned 7 larger-than-life bronze statues of himself.
You gotta appreciate the man's appreciation for himself.
He likes him some him.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Glad to see that whole knocking up your maid and losing your wife hasn't ruined his ego in any way. The statues are 8 feet tall, 580 pounds of bronze. He has made 7 of them. No word on what he's going to do with all of them, but he said definitely he's going to keep one for himself. He sounds something he can fuck besides the maid.
You are so cold and bronze.
I love you. You're so hard, and your pecs are so perfect.
He's sending one to Thal, Austria. That's his birthplace, of course, where they have the Arnold Schwarzenegger Museum.
Right.
Another one's going to Columbus, Ohio, where they have the Arnold Fitness Weekend every year. They have a big bodybuilding competition. Did someone just cheer the Arnold Fitness Weekend? Yeah, it's great. I sell steroids at the back of a van in the parking lot.
Meet me by my statue.
He was visiting the company where they were making them, and they asked him what he thought, and he said, "This is fantastic! This is fantastic!" He kept saying over and over again.
And then he came.
And they mixed that into the bronze. So when you buy one of these statues, there's a little piece of Arnold that comes home with you. He didn't know exactly how many he should make, so the sculptor recommended that he get one for every Mr. Olympia title he ever made, and that was 7 Mr. Olympia titles. So Arnold said, "Perfect!" That's how many he ordered.
Is a fucking genius, man.
Yeah, really?
You know, he's just like, oh, you should get one for every...
What do you weigh? How many pounds are you? You should get one for every pound.
How many days of the week are there?
No word on what the other 3 are going, but one's going to him, the other 2 are going away, and then I'm sure his wife will keep one, just for target practice.
Do you think he can request, like, could do me as the Terminator?
Apparently, the style he took was when he won the Mr. Olympia contest. That's the body type he's
All
using.
7 of the statue are going to be that?
Yeah, him and his like most.
Mix it up, man. Like,
prime.
here's me as Conan. Don't I look badass?
Here's me as Junior with a big pregnant belly.
Oh, no, wait, that's just Kev Smith.
It's like a safe. It's got a combination on you can keep your valuables inside of it. Here's me in Twins. A little statue comes of Danny DeVito. They're like bookends.
Looks like there's some damage on that statue, Arnold. Is that a tumor?
It's not a tumor. Buy my statue if you want to live.
Get your ass to my statue.
This story broke my heart. And I know you're a fan of Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've worked with the man.
Yeah,
more or less.
Yeah. But I like him. I dig the music. Maybe not the guy so much, but he's a hell of an artist.
But this story disappointed me. You remember The Time, don't you? The Time, Morris Day and The Time?
They were in Jay Silent Bob Strike Back, remember?
They were on the soundtrack. Yeah,
and at the end of the
course,
movie,
in
we
movie
danced
too.
with them at the end.
Yeah. For those of you who don't remember The Time, what a great R&B band of the 80s. Here's a little taste of probably their biggest hit. This was the one featured in your movies, Jungle Love.
Okay. I was literally trying to remember the dance. We shot that 10 years ago. I was like, what was it? And then it was like, oh, it was just this.
It was swaying,
It was
basically.
pretty simple, yeah.
Jesse, now Jerome.
The best part of the fucking Time act is, look, the music's pretty damn amazing. But
Yeah.
they had this little relationship, this kind of chemistry. Morris Day, the lead singer, and Jerome, who was essentially his manservant and shit.
Yeah.
So he would be like in the middle of singing, he'd be like, Jerome, get me a mirror. And Jerome would come out and hold the mirror for Morris while he fixed his hair and then went back to singing.
Yeah.
And I remember being like a lame white kid in the suburbs, 1983. I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want me a black man servant. And then people said, you don't do that anymore. And I said, but it works for him. And they said, hey.
No, those days are gone.
Yeah. But then I found Jason Mewes, and he became...
There you go.
Yeah. So I found me a white man servant.
We got to bring a mirror on stage for you sometime during a Babble-On so you can get fresh and then come back. And
I
then we can
dream
do
all
the
the
thing.
time of bringing somebody out on stage, like, someone get me a mirror. And then he would whip his comb into the audience.
Yes. And
He was like, "Ugh."
and with the Jerry curl, we just stick to somebody's face in the crowd. He'd leave the show and say, that was awesome. I love watching The Time. Someone help me with this. I stuck. Well, the original members of The Time, Morris Day, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Jesse Johnson, Jerome Benton, they've got back together. They're releasing a new CD on October the 18th called Condensate. And the bad news is Prince put those guys together in 1981.
Yes.
And now he refuses to let them use the name The Time.
Why? Does he say?
He didn't say. He just said no. He's got rights to the name. He owns the name, and they said we'd like to go back on the road and release a new CD, and he said no.
Dick move.
Dick move. Right?
Yeah, like why? What are you gonna gain by holding that name back?
He's not going to throw together a bunch of new 7 guys and make them the time. He doesn't need the money, so why won't he just let them be the time?
Maybe he's just mad at them. Well, you know, he didn't like me because of the shit I said about him on Evening with Kevin Smith. And then we put Morris Day and the time in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So maybe he's holding a 10-year fucking grudge.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is how I fuck you over for being in that movie. You can't have the name. That's one theory.
They're now calling themselves the Original 7.
That's the name?
That's the name, yeah. Couldn't they call themselves the artists formerly known as the Time?
Yes, Nick, yes!
That would have been like the biggest fuck you ever to that little glyph motherfucker.
I like it. That's smart. Man.
Yeah, no, but they're the Original 7. So if you're looking for their music on their new CD, you have to go to Original 7. And it's spelled the number 7, numerical 7, V-E-N. So they make it fucking impossible to buy their CD is what I'm telling you. Try to type that into Amazon.com.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis also like produced a bunch of Janet Jackson albums, all the very famous ones.
Big
Everybody
producers.
knows. Control, all that shit.
Yep. Talentless cunt news. Brad Pitt this week refused to talk to Chelsea Handler and go on her talk show to talk about Moneyball.
Why?
Some people have taste when it comes to going on the Chelsea Handler show.
Well, wait, let's see why he didn't go on her show.
Well, maybe it's because she called his wife a cunt when she was doing stand-up comedy.
His what? Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Oh, so he was like, I'm not going on her show?
Yeah. Apparently, E reached out to Brad Pitt, who was doing interviews with everybody to promote Moneyball. He's really sort of desperate to make this movie a hit. He did NPR, he did the Today Show, he did a sit-down with Anderson Cooper. I mean, he's been talking
about
to everybody.
Jennifer Aniston, too, at one point, which is like, he never did that before.
And he's also claiming to be still good friends with Jennifer. So Chelsea Handler's people have said, well, I'm good friends with Jennifer. And since you're good friends with Jennifer and you guys have an amicable split, why don't you come in and sit down and we'll promote your movie on the talk show? And he said, no, I'm going to pass. Probably because she called Angelina Jolie a cunt.
Somebody say that in the media, like we think it's because of this?
Someone from the show who refused to be named said Chelsea would have loved to have Brad on the show. She's had some of the biggest stars in the world on her show to promote their films. If he's still good friends with Jen, then he would have done E, but he's full of it, and Chelsea knows it. That's why he wouldn't talk with her. He doesn't have the balls.
Oh, so she said, like, if you're such good friends with Jennifer Aniston, come on the show.
Because Jennifer and I are good friends.
Are they good friends?
Yeah, they vacation together, and they go do cunty things together. They go to cunt conventions together.
If they're such good friends, then conceivably, Jennifer Aniston was like, fucking ask him to be on the show.
Yeah, right.
That sounds like a thing that like girlfriends collude together and be like, let's trip this motherfucker.
And ask him about me.
Yeah.
Make him say nice things.
Yeah, see if he likes me.
Yeah. Check the box. Do you like me? Check this box. Do you not? Check that box.
Chelsea had Brad Pitt on her show, and she did one of those things, the paper. Where
yeah, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pick a color. B-L-U-E. While we're talking about Brad Pitt, have you seen Moneyball? Anybody seen Moneyball? Good movie, Moneyball.
I have not seen it. Scott Mosier saw it, and he said he loved it.
It's really good. I'm not a baseball fan, per se, but you don't have to be to enjoy this film. It's really well done.
Highest grossing baseball film in adjusted dollars of all time.
Really? More than The
strange?
Natural?
Yes. Oh, way more. You know what the previous all-time high was? Ralph.
Love that movie, The Natural. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. More than The Natural. We're talking about how much money it made.
The highest grossing baseball film up until Moneyball was The Benchwarmers.
Shut the fuck up.
In adjusted grosses, yes.
More than Field of Dreams?
Way more. Field of Dreams didn't crack
The
like
Benchwarmers?
Yeah, in opening weekend, yeah.
John fucking Lovitz was in The Benchwarmers.
Up until recently, he had the highest grossing baseball comedy of all time. Baseball movie of all time.
That's insane.
Now it's Moneyball. Huh. You saw it and you liked it, though.
Yeah, he was real good in it. But everyone notices throughout the whole film, he's constantly stuffing his face. He's eating all the time. Brad Pitt.
He does that in the Ocean's 11 movie, too.
Well, here's the thing. New York Magazine, you know, they got that vulture.com, that website where they do all the entertainment news.
I love that
They noticed it, too, and they put together a list, and they said Brad Pitt eats everything all the time in all of his movies.
That's his go-to. It's his comfort as an actor. He likes to work with a prop, I guess. and food seems to be his go-to. It's ironic because if you watch Ocean's 11, he's eating some pretty crap food, but he's a pretty thin guy.
Yeah.
And in that movie, in almost every scene, he has something in his hand that he's about to eat or is eating.
In almost every movie, he's eating something.
That's his
They
thing.
went through all of his films, and they came up with 54 different food items that he has eaten over his career. They've got the entire list on the website.
If he was eating that much, he would look more like me than Brad Pitt.
That's what I'm saying. Some of the things he's eaten throughout his career: baked beans and Johnny Suede. Well, that's what we all remember from Johnny Suede, right?
Yeah.
Corned beef and cabbage in The Devil's Own, cotton candy in Ocean's 11, amongst other things, dumplings in Ocean's 13, human blood in Interview with a Vampire. I don't know if that really counts, does it?
That doesn't count.
Yeah. Prison gruel.
You know why it really doesn't count? Because he didn't want to do it. He was an unwilling vampire.
That's right. Yeah. But a fascinating list. You should check it out. nymag.com is where they have
That
it.
is his move. He likes to eat in movies. If you watch, that's his go-to.
A lot of
Some
actors
people
like to have something to do so they don't
With their
feel
hands.
self-conscious with their hands. So
Yeah.
that's his. Great news this week. Johnny Depp will be Tonto in The Lone Ranger.
So they're going to go forward with the movie.
Disney has greenlit that film. It's going to happen.
They dropped the budget a little bit. How much did they shave off the budget to make it happen?
Well, they scalped it, basically, is what they did. Oh, shut up. Now all of a sudden they have taste.
Yeah. Still, you might want to take that one back.
Disney said, we're not going to make a Lone Ranger movie for $250 million. That's outrageous. That's ridiculous. It's a Western. You should be able to make a Western for a lot less than that.
Westerns in this business traditionally was always the cheapest movie to produce.
That's why there were so many back
Yeah,
in the
they
day.
made them because it was easy. They just need dust and horses. And they had the backlots for it, so they would churn out Westerns because they were very inexpensive to produce. So when we did this story originally, the outrage of everybody was like, $250 million for a fucking cowboy movie? Like, this is impossible.
Yeah.
And so they canceled it and said, look, maybe it'll happen if we can bring that budget down to something responsible.
Right.
Have they
So
done that?
slashed the budget from $250 million to $215 million. And Disney said, well, with those kind of numbers, we can't resist.
Unbelievable. 35, that was the only difference, $35 million?
Yeah, that was it.
But
Now
to be
they're in.
fair, I think that movie's an ATM. That's just like printing money. Johnny Depp in a fucking iconic role that even though it's like the Lone Ranger and Tonto aren't like insanely popular to this generation, but they're well fucking known and stuff. And he always captures people's imagination, brings a different spin to it. So at the end of the day, even though it's like $215 for a fucking cowboy movie, I bet you they'll make a shit ton of money.
But there is some risk in this version because it's not your the traditional Lone Ranger.
What are they doing?
In this version, Tonto owns a casino. I'm kidding.
Oh shit! I was like, you're out
Thank
of
you.
your fucking mind. I was getting
The
ready.
sound guy knew it was a joke.
I
Thank
didn't.
God.
I was gonna flip the table. I was so outraged.
You play blackjack. Must get 22. More cast.
You get out of my casino. How? Fuck you! You hear those applause? That ain't going in no file. Right up front, bitch.
Tell Smith is boozing instead of smoking because he's like attacking the audience
Yeah,
now.
I'm like, I got another thing.
Come on, bring it.
Ralph will fight you after the show.
More casting news. Taylor Lautner on the heels of his huge success in Abduction.
Why did it not do well?
Oh, no.
No?
No, it made like $11 million in its opening weekend. So people are rejecting Taylor Lautner as an action star.
But still, I saw that the demographics on it were fucking very impressive. Like, they were like, we made $11 million, but you know who came out for it? Chicks.
Really?
Yeah. They say there's hope for him. Like, they feel like they'll give him another run at it because, like, ladies came out to see that guy.
We're going to find you.
Not if I find you first.
The trailers were a little kind of like,
In a world where motherfuckers do horrible shit, this
All right.
little boy.
You guys are in big trouble now, because here I come. I got a motorcycle and a gun, and you guys are going to be sorry.
This little man is at the end of his rope.
You guys have pushed me too far. I'm serious. I am totally cheesed off. I'm gonna kick your asses.
It's the adventure of a lifetime in which he meets a beautiful woman.
Come on, I'll keep you safe. Just get into my Hello Kitty backpack.
Fucking 12-year-old nerd is that action star. He told In Touch magazine he is desperate to be the lead in the remake of Dirty Dancing.
Wait, so he wants to play Jennifer Grey's part?
I believe he wants the Patrick Swayze role. He says he's been taking dance lessons now for months preparing for the audition. This is the role of a lifetime for him.
No, he's been in the mirror for a fucking long time, just going like, nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. My girlfriend got pregnant, so I had to take her to an abortion clinic. Your dad's a doctor. Maybe he could help us. I don't know. What do you think?
It was only me and some girls laughing because we remember that's the story of Dirty Dancing. A bunch of fucking dudes are like, why is that funny?
I don't get it.
And it's me and like 12 chicks over 40 going, more Dirty Dancing jokes!
We have to get you ready for the big dance competition. So let's work all the time. What do you say?
Tell me about the time of your life.
I've had the time of my life. Step, step. 1, 2, 3. Step, step.
You feel it in here. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Do that one.
Gotta feel it in here. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum.
And while we're talking about casting news, looks like we've got a new Bond girl for James Bond 23, as they're calling it. We don't have a title yet because they can't think of anything more fucked up than Quantum of Solace. James Bond 23. 23rd James Bond,
wow.
Yes. A new actress has been, and this has been speculated on for months now. People are saying, who's the new Bond girl going to be? Names been thrown around. Frida Pinto from Slumdog Millionaire.
Right. And she was in Planet of the Apes, too, right?
Yeah. Olivia Wilde.
Who's that?
You still don't know who she is.
I'm telling you, I don't know who she is.
I'm just gonna bring you like memento.
I'm
gonna write it in Sharpie on your arm,
on me.
so you know every time I bring up her name what she looks like.
I just need to carry a picture of her in my wallet, so that every time you say her name, I can be like, oh, her.
A lot of names have been thrown around, but it looks like we have our new Bond girl this week. It was it's not officially announced, but it looks like French actress Berenice Marlowe is going to be the new Bond girl.
Her name's Bernice?
Berenice.
Yeah, Bernice.
But in French, it's Berenice.
Yeah, but in America, it's Bernice. It's like, meet the sexy new Bond girl, Bernice.
Also starring Edna, Bertha, and Gladys.
With a special appearance by Peg.
People are saying she doesn't have a lot of experience. She's only been on French television. She's never made a major motion picture before. So they're saying, why would they cast her as a Bond girl?
Yeah.
And I say, well, this is the picture they released of her this week. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Is that a dude?
No! It's a beautiful French woman.
All right, she's going to be the Bond girl, joining a very prestigious list of people like Charlie Sheen's ex-wife. Denise Richards, she was a Bond girl.
She was a Bond girl.
And she was a nuclear scientist in her movie.
Dr. Christmas Jones.
That was right, her name was Christmas.
Yeah. And I actually had the unfortunate circumstance of interviewing her on the red carpet of that film.
Why?
Because there was a tie-in with the radio station. They were doing the premiere, and they bought a big commercial buy on the station. And one of the deals was we had to go down and host the red carpet. So I went down there, and you have to stand on a little box, and you interview all the celebrities when they come by, and they don't want to talk to you, and you don't want to talk to them. But it's obligatory because there's people standing around the red carpet, and they want to hear something from the celebrities.
Right.
So everybody had come by, and Pierce Brosnan could not have been more generous and gracious. And I asked lame questions, and he gave lame answers, and it was fine. And then Denise Richards comes along, and she says, I'm so excited to be in a James Bond movie. And I said, well, you come from a long line of famous Bond girls. Christmas Jones is sort of a funny name. It's kind of like Pussy Galore. It's from that school of thought. And she said, how many times are people going to fucking ask me that question?
Did you get that on camera?
No, it was live, but we weren't recording it. It was just one of these live personal appearance things where I was interviewing people on the red carpet.
And so there was nothing, but nobody, oh my God, that would have been awesome
No,
audio to have.
because you're just standing there and you're just holding the microphone. You're going back and forth asking questions. And she said, How many times are people going to ask me that fucking question? I was like, well, excuse the fuck out of me. It's your movie premiere, and I don't want to be here either. I didn't say, in my head I said that. Yeah.
Outside, you were just like...
Outside, I was like, okay, get the fuck out of here now. Enjoy your movie premiere. So, yeah, I wish her bad things. I wish her Betty White's future. That's what I wish for her. Javier Bardem, Ralph Fiennes, Naomi Harris, Sam Mendes is directing this one, by the way.
Oh, is he really?
There's a lot of big hopes for this one. Yeah.
Right on, there it is.
All right, it's time for geek news here on Hollywood Babble-On. James?
Rough and Kevin, Rough and Kevin, Rough and Kev. Geek news.
New video hit the interwebs this week, and I couldn't be more excited. No, not that video, no. This was something, and I'm glad a couple people who listen to the show gave me the heads up, including Luke from London. Here's his email. Mr. Smith and Mr. Garman, longtime listener to the show. I thought of you guys when I saw this. It takes two of the most fucking annoying things ever. Bagpipes and unicycles. And then he puts in parentheses, fuck unicycles. They're shit bikes. I don't know what happened to him on a unicycle, but he does not like them. But adds one amazing thing and creates something quite spectacular. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Luke in London. Luke sent us this video. I knew, Kevin, you would appreciate this. I brought this in for you. You haven't seen this, but it is a dude in Oregon on the street on a unicycle wearing a kilt and a fedora playing a bagpipe. And magic happens. Here we go.
I got a video.
Just cycle along playing the Star Wars theme on a bagpipe on a unicycle.
That's one of those clips where I keep expecting him to hit by a rock.
No.
Like I was like, here it comes any minute.
That's all there is.
That's good, right?
It's a guy on a unicycle playing the bagpipes.
He's playing it awfully fast.
Yes, he is. Well, he's in a hurry. He's on a unicycle.
That's true. Good point.
New Catwoman photos this week. Everyone's been wondering what the Catwoman costume's going to look like in the new Dark Knight Rises, and we finally found out. And I got to say, I'm pretty excited. It's very Julie Newmar.
It's very your Dark Knight Rise. Okay, I would like to take that
He's
back.
going to take that one back. Yeah. It's very 60s Batman TV show.
Yes.
Here's a quick photo of, there she is, Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. She's got the whole mask on, the cat ears, the whole 9 yards. Why are you booing?
Why are they booing?
I don't know. Why are you booing? Where's the cleavage? Well, the good news is you can't see it from here, but it's assless. That costume is assless. Her entire ass is hanging out. So when they shoot her from behind, you'll get what you want, you perv.
There's a movie that she's in, Anne Hathaway, called Havoc, where she's
she's all titty in
pretty
that.
naked and a lot of nudity. So if you're looking for naked Catwoman, check that out. But for those of us who like our Batman without boobs, I'm all for this.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I like a boob-free Batman. Because you can't fucking concentrate on fighting crime if you're like, look at those tits.
No.
You gotta keep them hidden.
A couple of weeks ago, we talked about William Shatner's new album. He's got a new album coming out in October called Seeking Major Tom, and it's all based on science fiction and space-oriented music, except for Bohemian Rhapsody for some reason. But we played some clips, and I just love this guy, and I love his music. He is an artiste. And this week they released a video of him, a behind-the-scenes video of him recording the song Iron Man, the classic Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Man. The best part is you don't hear the music track, you just see Shatner working his ass off in the studio. So you got to find it on YouTube. I just brought in a brief clip for you. It's worth checking out. This is Shatner about to burst a blood vessel in his brain singing Iron Man in the studio. Here we go.
I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I can't wait for that album to come out. Well, folks, that's the end of another Hollywood Babble-On.
Is it coming to the end already?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
See how time flies when you're not stoned?
I know. Yeah. It's weird.
But before we
Is
go,
it possible to pull one more clip before we go, though?
what's that?
Can we play one more clip before we go?
Sure.
Can you pull that clip, the clip of what was it, the acting thing?
Oh, Pierce Brosnan,
Brosnan.
from Taffin, when he was very upset with
Yes.
Deborah Raffin.
Just
I
one more
believe it
time
was.
before we
You
go.
want to see that one more time?
The whole show, I was sitting there when that first happened in the show. I was like, oh my god, I gotta call that back later on, and I couldn't remember how to do it, and I was frustrated the whole time. My head was on that, so now I want to hear it before we go.
All right. Well, we're throwing James a curveball here, so we got to give him a couple seconds. No worries. Take your time.
How you guys doing tonight?
Everybody good? You have a good time? Thanks again for coming out. I only got one drink tonight, by the way. I got to talk to management.
Yeah, what's going on? I had
sober.
two of these and half of these or something. I can't. If I finish the beer, honestly, I'll be like taking my top off and stuff.
Up here, soldier.
I haven't felt peer pressure like that. It's
junior high.
Yeah, oh my God. I was like, I better do this or they won't hang out with me anymore.
Nothing against you personally, just for the sake of comedy. I was hoping you were just going to barf all over the table.
It was close. There was a second there.
Open.
You ready, sir? What the fuck?
Still working. Holy shit.
You have the audio?
We've got a coal-powered projector up there. That's the problem. He's got to stoke it and put some in there.
All right, fuck it. Let's move on.
All right, we'll move on.
Thank God I'm drunk. It doesn't matter.
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here.
Can we get the video with
Living
it?
here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here.
I gotta remember. Play one. Hold on. I want to record it on my phone because I want to yell this at my wife when I get home. Just in this voice and this performance, because what's gonna happen is one day we're gonna be watching this movie, and that line's gonna happen. She's gonna look at me.
You son of a bitch.
And when she looks at me, I'm gonna be like, well, then maybe you shouldn't be living here. Go ahead, play it.
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here.
Amazing.
That's the oddest reading of a line
It's so
ever.
strange, and he's pretty modulated, a really
I know,
strong actor.
he's a good actor.
He just went for a real Pacino moment with that.
You shouldn't be living here! It's usually, like, on Remington Steele, it's like, yes, yes, Laura, yes, yes, Even as Bond, he was like, yes, Q, yes, M, Janice, yes,
Janice. Well pulled.
Maybe you
Yeah,
shouldn't
he
be
has-
living here! Where did that come from with Brosnan?
I'm telling you, dude, he watched like fucking Scent of a Woman. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna do my own version of ooh-ah. And essentially, I'm gonna take lines
Let
and
me see what I've
escalate
got
them.
here in the script. What can I use? Maybe you shouldn't be living here. Yeah, that works. That sounds
It's
good.
almost like he had an earwig in, and the director, the whole time he was doing that one line, he's like, louder, 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 louder. So that he ends at this high peak. He can't even
The
hear
video's
himself.
great. Deborah Raffin's face is like, what the fuck just happened? All right. Speaking of actors, one of our favorites, of course, is the legendary Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Qui-Gon himself.
Not only is he a fine, fine actor, but he has an enormous cock.
Huge.
How big is the cock? Well, we ask that question every week, and if you'd like to contribute your own Liam Neeson's cock size joke, you can go to neesoncock.com, and that's how we find out. Just how big is Liam Neeson's cock?
Oh, we can't help but wonder how big is Liam Neeson's cock.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
Okay, let's stop that.
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
It was fun for a little while.
Yeah.
But now, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we meant to say is we love it.
Yeah. It ain't going nowhere. Here we go. You tried. Here we go.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That he has to sleep with a life preserver in case he has a wet dream. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
If it ever went missing, they'd have to use all 4 sides of 7,008 milk cartons.
Smart.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
In order to practice safe sex, he needed to earn a degree in mechanical engineering. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That not even Conrad Murray has enough propofol to sedate it.
That was dark.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That it feels self-conscious about it and insists that it's big-boned, which is technically true. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
The Kraken releases it. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That in a lost episode of Happy Days, it ate Richie's brother Chuck. Now we know what happened.
Wow.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
Before sex, he's legally required to offer women an epidural. The women are like, oh, that's not funny.
Yeah. I don't want a shot in my spine just to fuck Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
He doesn't get wood, he gets forest. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
It's automatic. It's systematic. It's hydromatic. Why, it's greased lightning! Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
He doesn't wear a condom, he wears a condominium.
That's cute.
It is cute.
That's a joke I could tell my mother. You know?
Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That the classic Abbott and Costello sketch originally started, who's on first? Liam Neeson's cock. What's on second? Liam Neeson's cock. Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That it doesn't always drink beer, but when it does, it prefers Dos Equis. And lastly, Liam Neeson's cock is so big.
How big is it?
That maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Y'all have a good time tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for coming out.
See us here every Saturday, unlike tonight, for Hollywood Babble-On. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Babble the fuck on. Good night, everybody.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, Hollywood Babble-On, live at the John Lovitz Podcast Theater.